What's up? Talking about more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff today? Well, it's the same day as the last video, but I'm recording it now, and you guys will see it later, so it's another day. This episode, we're gonna talk about, right plays, even though they seem like they're the wrong play, but they actually are the right play. This scenario doesn't occur often, you have to understand that, but when it does occur, knowing what to do is helpful. It's a weird scenario that happens, but it does happen. Mostly under Maxi, but sometimes under Shared Ride. I don't know, Shared Ride is another equivalent card that does what it needs to do for the example. The example essentially is, if you continue making the plays you're making, your opponent's going to gain card advantage. Now, you can say that your opponent's going to gain card advantage by making Xyz and Synchro, or by you making Xyz and Synchros, but like, those Xyz and Synchro monsters typically pay off for losing the cards that you are. But when your opponent maxes you, and you're already in a losing position, so say your opponent has like 4 or 5 cards in hand, and you have 2 or 3 cards altogether, and they max you. Whenever you go, like, you already have, let's say you have a Fog King in hand and a Blaster in grave, and you banish 2 cards for a Blaster, and they go Maxi in response to that. You're like, oh, that sucks. Do you just summon Blaster, give them the 1 draw, replacing them with Maxi, and then attack, and then have Blaster return to hand, and then be in a poor, like a still bad position? Or do you go normal summon Fog King, use Dracosack, detach 2 for Dracosack, 26 go, giving him 2 extra draws, so they went +2, so now they have 7 to your 3 cards, plus the 2 tokens. Or do you just give them the 1 card? Now, depending on what you're playing against, obviously, is going to dictate whether or not the play's right. Say you're playing against a deck that has no real way to remove cards from play, and they can't spam the field very often, so like say like Fire Fist or something. In my opinion, I would think that going into a Dracosack play against like a Fire Fist deck would be a very opportune thing to do. Now, why is this? Well, Dracosack can easily get you back all that advantage that you just lost by 2 cards, because it produces 4 tokens altogether plus himself. And if you use all of them to destroy a card, it's going to gain you infinite advantage. It's going to give you an extra 5 cards off of 2 cards. So you're going +3 off there. Obviously, some of them are going to die by battle, but again, this is a 2600 attack point monster that can get destroyed. That's pretty good. And attacking over guys is also going to get you more advantage. So your opponent's going to put more cards into it than they gained to get rid of a Dracosack in that scenario. Yeah, so things like that are important. Also, let's say you're playing against. Let's say you're playing against Spellbooks and you're playing Murmel, and you go reveal Megalo, discard lead and Gund, and they go Maxi. You're like, whoa, that sucks a lot. Well, summon Megalo because I have to, and then you're thinking, because they drew 1 card, and say this is turn 1, so now they have 5 cards, and you have 5 cards. Yeah, because you're going to summon off of Gun, and then you're going to add to Sphere, so you both have 5 cards. But if you summon off Gun, they're going to have 6 cards, you have 5 cards, and they also get the draw for turn. Now you're playing against Spellbooks, and you know this because it's like game 2 or whatever, and you have to consider your options here. The likelihood of them opening 3 Spellbooks and a Priestess, as well as opening up a Blue Boy, is very unlikely, which is the only scenario in which you're in a poor position. So giving them like 2 draws, essentially giving them 2 extra cards, and you have a Gaius on board, is not going to be very disadvantageous for you. You're going to lose card advantage, yes, but it's still the right play to make, I think. Because then you also have a Sphere set, and you have a lot of things to do, and they only have 1 Fate, so they're going to have to use a lot more cards to deal with your cards than you have to use to deal with their cards. So if they summon the Blue Boy, you just detach all Gaius to negate it, and then if they have the Priestess, then they can summon the Priestess, yeah, but then they lost their Blue Boy search, and it's just, they're going to lose card advantage that way. They're going to lose part of their engine, because of the Gaius being able to negate. So things like that is something you should consider. Also with Shared Ride. If your opponent has like 1 backer set, and they have a monster on board, and then you have a Blue Boy in hand, this card's really only ever good against spellbooks, realistically. So, like, your opponent's at, like, 300, and, you go, activate secrets, and they activate Shared Ride in response. You're like, that's fine, because you're just gonna add Master, or add Blue Boy, summon Blue Boy, add Master, activate Master, reveal something, add a Fate, or a Wisdom or whatever, activate the third spellbook, or if you didn't already have one in graveyard, or whatever one you had in hand, most likely you can activate it. If they're at that little life, if it's like a life or anything, or a power or a wisdom, you can just willy-nilly activate it, send it to graveyard, activate the Fate, banish their one guy, attack directly for game. Your opponent's gonna draw like 3 or 4 cards off of it because of Shared Ride, but you still win the duel, so who cares? Things like that you should consider. But yeah, that is making the right play even though it looks wrong. Oh yeah, another thing. I don't know what it's called. It's like some kind of theory. I think it's like a psychology theory. It's like, I'd much rather do this and be wrong than not do it and be right. Wait, no. Yeah, that's right. So it mostly pertains to arguments like, I'd much rather, no, I don't care if you're religious or not, but like this is a very easy example I can use off the top of my head. It's like, I'd much rather believe in God and be wrong than not believe in God and be right. Because if you don't believe in God, alright, no, that's not right. I'd much rather believe in God and be wrong than not believe in Him and be wrong. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Essentially, it's like, I'd much rather believe in Him and then not be right and not have anything happen than not believe in Him and then be wrong and then go to hell forever. So that's essentially what the theory is saying. And that pertains mostly to like Mind Crush or cards or like playing around cards that are like boss monsters, where I'd much rather play around like playing around cards, even though like you're gonna lose card advantage, but playing around like the big cards that you have a hard time dealing with is right. So like I was playing against Shaddoll's at locals the other day, and my opponent had 3 Darks in graveyard, and he kept holding a card in hand. Like he wouldn't play it, he wouldn't set it, and if it was a trap, he'd most likely set it because there's no Heavy Storm. He already used his Soul Charge, so I don't care about that. And he had 3 Darks in graveyard, and I knew he played a Quick Fiber and a Dark Arm Dragon because it was game 2. And he would have summoned it if it was Dark Arm Dragon, because there's no point not. So I was expecting it to be like a BLS or a Chaos Sorcerer. So, and I was playing Yang Zing. So I kept shuffling back in all of his light targets into the deck, so that he couldn't have a light in the graveyard to use as a Chaos Engine. Now I lost card advantage that way in a few instances, but like it was still, in my opinion, the right play, even though you're losing advantage. It ended up just being a Lila, and he never could summon it because there's always a better card to play, but still. And then like if you're going to Mind Crush, like I activate Mind Crush, my opponent, like if it's reasonable that they have a Chaos Monster in hand, I'd much rather call BLS and be wrong than call Chaos Sorcerer and be wrong. Because if I call Chaos Sorcerer and they have a BLS in hand, BLS is better than Chaos Sorcerer. And if I call BLS and have it be wrong and then have a Chaos Sorcerer, I'd much rather be fine with that. Because if I call BLS and it's right, it's better than to not call BLS and be wrong. I think, hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. It's kind of hard to portray in an effective manner. But yeah, so if you guys understood the video, like it. If you guys didn't understand the video, dislike it. And if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, and then keep paying attention to more mindset videos, because I want to keep making them. Also, comment below different mindset video ideas that you guys would like to hear, because I'm always open to suggestions. Thanks, guys.